Hello again. I'm Debora Konchinsky from the Critter Pattern Works. I'm going to show you today how to do satin stitching on the edge of an applique. And it's this mousse that we're going to do. This whole quilt top has been fused to a piece of batting, and I made it into a triptych by making my design in 3 columns. The trees have couching on them, which is eyelash yarn. This combination of fabrics is just taking fabrics together and whacking them off with the scissors and seeing what comes out and making that part of the landscape. The lighter colors are in the back, the brighter colors are in the front, and they have glass bead eyes, mousses, and a little bit of detail here with a raw edge, and this is hand embroidered feather stitching. This is a wee bit tricky to photograph because you need to be able to see where I'm going. I'm zigzagging at 0 width to start, and I go up to about 2 1/4 millimeters wide and zigzag over the outside edge so that 90%, 99% of the stitching is on the applique. I'm doing the antlers first because they are behind the head. Needle down into the fabric when you need to change to go into different directions. This is an open-toed foot so that I can see where to start and stop. Now, because there's so many colors in the background, it's difficult to figure out which color thread to use that's going to contrast with the antlers and with the background. Needle down in place at 0 width to start and stop. And I am satin stitching through batting. And you can see that this is hand embroidery. And that was done before I put on this applique, and this is fused down with Steam Seam Light. I'm going to change the color of the thread to brown and stitch around the top of the ear that's in the back. I make the stitches less wide on the point of the ear, and then increase away from the point and back down to 0. I've marked the mousse with white chalk. You may not be able to see it. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way so that you can see what's happening here. And this is normally how fast I go. Now I've stopped at the corner, needle down to 0, and go across, increasing to 2 1/4, and then down to 0 to the other side of the hook. This is 0, and then increase a little line here, maybe you can't see it, that I'm stitching over. It's white chalk. Now I should have done this leg before I did this leg, because these stitches that are on this leg would be behind that stitching. Do as I tell you, not as I do. So I'm going to start at 0 width to do that leg. And there you have it. That's pretty much what you need to know for satin stitching. Needle down on the outside of the curve when you need to reposition your fabric, and then start. Stitching across the top of his head from the ear here's his nose. Needle down on the outside of the curve to reposition. Then your stitches will cross over the stitches you just made. And into the mouth area, making it less wide. Change to straight stitch for the fuzziness of his wattle here. That's what they call it on turkeys. I don't know what they call it on mooses. Now here's the moose finished on the board. Now these little wrinkles that are in the background will disappear when I do the quilting. This tree has eyelash yarn couched onto it. The beads that I use on the eyes are iris colored glass beads. They're a little bit purple, a little bit green, a little bit black. And all of the stitching that you see that is covering these areas are done with a zigzag or decorative stitch and a darning foot. Now my husband asked me why I have made this design into a triptych, and I just thought it would be a fun, different way of making a pattern.